Hi, I'm Ansu. I constantly lie to myself saying that I'm going to film every single time, and yet I never do so. So today I thought it would be a good time to get you up to speed on my April wrap up and my May TBR because that's where we're at right now, and I think it's time that we talk about it at least now. I'm pretty sure I read every single book that I said that I wanted to read, well, at least three out of the books I said I wanted to read, and I did end up reading them, which is very, very exciting for me. But the first one that I did end up reading was One by One by Freida McFadden. Okay, so this one follows around these group of friends. They're going on this little trip into the wilderness, and they're taking a minivan of sorts. Our main character, Claire, is having some marital problems with her husband, and they're almost at the brink of divorce. They have two kids, and right before they're going on this trip, one of their children, her daughter, basically goes up to her and says, "You're going to die, there's going to be monsters on the trip, don't go," and things like that. It's very ominous. They still end up going, obviously. They get a bunch of friends, they go on this trip to go to this like remote cottage. Once they're slowly like traveling to get there, we realize that Claire is also having an affair with her husband's best friend, who's also on the trip with them. And then they're slowly going and going and going, and they kind of get stuck in the woods. And this minivan thing breaks down. They don't have an escape. They're kind of stuck. Of course, this is like really creepy territory. Slowly, they start to try to fend for themselves. They don't have enough food. Things are just going wild. People are dropping dead one by one, and obviously Claire is terrified. She doesn't know how they're dying, what kind of monsters live in this woods, and if it's just like animals or if there's something even more sinister going on. We try to figure out what's happening, and that's how the story goes on. I did enjoy this. I gave this 4 stars. Ending, the twists were so out of this world, honestly, but I can kind of see it happening. I enjoyed it a lot, and I give it 4 stars. Is it super memorable? Maybe not. I got this book from NetGalley, and I thought it was an early arc, but it wasn't. I was mistaken, but it was still really good. It was really fun, and I had a great time reading it. Next up, I ended up reading Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. This is the second book to the um, Everyone in my family is a murderer. Everyone in my family has killed someone. This is the second book to that series, I guess. And I enjoyed this a little less. So basically, we're following around this guy named Ernest Cunningham. The first book, he was an author, so he's trying to write this book. He starts writing this book about his family. At least every single person has somehow killed someone in some circumstance, whether it's on purpose or not. Something has happened where they have killed someone. Even our author, Ernest Cunningham, has killed someone. So that's the story. And we're trying to figure things out, like who they killed, why that happened. That was a very, very interesting story. And we're following up, since that book got to be a very cool, like, bestseller novel. The book inside the book got super famous, and our main character gets to go on this trip on a train where they just have this event for mystery writers, I guess. And a bunch of these authors who are very famous get together, and they have like a little book fest, I guess. It's really supposed to be very entertaining. Ernest feels like he's out of place, and he's trying to navigate writing and life without having to actually witness murders, and so he can write fiction stories instead of an actual like nonfiction. And the story goes like that. Personally, like I said, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I did the first one. It kind of lost its charm for me for this one. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just going to say right at the bat, there's nothing wrong with it particularly, but I just did not feel that fun element. I just did not feel that in this book, and it was really unfortunate, but it was still good. It just wasn't my favorite book. Would I recommend the entire series to people, like the 2 books to people? Definitely the first one. I don't know about the second one. It is entertaining enough, but I felt like this was a little more like an out of the world experience. Didn't enjoy it as much as I would have liked to, so it was okay. I still gave it like 3.5 or 4 stars, I'm pretty sure. And the same gimmicks were used from the first book. It just didn't feel that charming, that's all. And I didn't really care for it. The last book I read in the month of April, I read 3 books, okay? This is such a joyous event for me, and I read the Rom-Commers by Katherine. It's actually my first Katherine book, and this has actually not come out yet. This is coming out on June the 11th of 2024, and I got an early audiobook copy from NetGalley, and honestly, I really enjoyed this. Like I said, this was my first Katherine book that I've read. I do own a few books by the author, but I haven't gotten around to reading them. I was so close to giving it 5 stars, but I think it's more like 4.5, 4.75 even. I really enjoyed it. It made me cry. It made me feel all the emotions. It was a really good book. But I don't know, like when I really thought about it, there's some aspects in this book that I didn't really vibe with, and I thought I should dock a little bit of that star rating. So I did dock it down a little bit to 4.5. 4.75. It was a very, very enjoyable book. So what is this book about, Ansu? So we're following around Emma Wheeler, who has been taking care of her father pretty much her entire adult life. He got into this freak accident and he needs like full-time care, but he's the sweetest, kindest man. And what happens is that she is a writer. She's a screenwriter, but she hasn't been able to take off with her career because she's been stuck with her dad, obviously. She gets this opportunity one day to work with one of her favorite screenwriters and a very famous screenwriter named Charlie Yates. So once she gets this opportunity, she hands off her dad reluctantly to her sister, goes on this whole trip to LA to meet Charlie. As the saying goes, don't meet your heroes. She's really, really upset by this man. He's just ridiculous. He does not have a care in the world for people. And he's very rude. You can genuinely see how much she hates this person. And I get it. Like, girl, I totally understand it because he seemed like such an asshole. But throughout the book, he kind of grows on you. They're writing this screenplay together. He had written this like romantic comedy and it was absolutely trashy. And Emma is this rom-com expert and she is going to like help him kind of ghostwrite, I guess, this whole story, and it goes from there. It's obviously a romance book. They obviously end up together, so it's a very sweet romance. It's one of those like hard to get type of situations, but they end up working together and it seems very, very sweet. There are certain parts in this book that I didn't enjoy, is where Charlie is trying to be an asshole on purpose to keep her away, and I wanted to smack him with my phone because that's what I was listening on. It was not a fun time just for that case. Other than that, it was just such an adorable book. I really enjoyed it. I cried a lot. This familial relationship that this book really portrayed, top notch. I really, really enjoyed that, and I would highly recommend you guys to pick this up once it comes out in June. Genuinely such a quick favorite of mine. I don't know if it's like 5-star material, but it definitely was high up there for me and I really enjoyed it. Alright, those are all the books I read in the month of April. Now moving on to the books that I want to read in May. So I'm filming this a little later into the month, so oops, I guess. I did already finish reading 3 books. Whoop, whoop. One of them, I did finish most of it in April, but I finished a good chunk of it in May, so that's there. Every time I go on vacation, someone dies. This is a debut novel that I wanted to pick up, and I did finish it. So I'm going to put it in here so I can feel accomplished by the end of the month. And the next books that I want to get to in this month are Carvel, Legendary, and Finale. I really want to finish this series. I've heard so many great reviews about these books, and I can't wait to get to them. I've been really enjoying reading Carvel. I did start it, so this has been going really well. Basically, we're following around a circus that kind of comes only once in a lifetime in a specific space, and only people who are invited can play inside this game. Don't really know too many details about it, but our main character really wants to go into it, and she goes in, we're not sure if that's exactly how and what she expected. Her life is completely messy, and she goes through this whole Carvel magical experience. It's really fun. There are some letter exchanges in here that I thought was very interesting. It is definitely very entertaining. I cannot wait to read all of these books, and I'll keep you guys posted once I'm done with them. But yeah, this is definitely something that is on my radar for the month, and I would like to finish them up. The next book, I'm pretty certain I did talk about this in my April TBR or in one of my vlogs. I'm not sure where I really talked about this, but it was somewhere, I think, and that is Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. This is a dark romance. I'm not a huge dark romance reader, but this one has piqued my attention, and I was just like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try to read it. I've read like 60 pages already. I'm not getting super into it, but basically this is a story about 2 serial killers who are killing serial killers. Basically pedophile serial killers or women serial killers. Like those type of serial killers are the ones they're hunting. And it is an interesting kind of gory story, and I'm enjoying it so far. There's this scene that I read where one of our main characters, Rowan, kind of grabs the other main character, Sloane, by the throat, and he's like, this serial killer is mine, I'm going to end his life. And I'm just like, babe, what are you doing? That's not cool. What is wrong with you? I don't know if that put me off in the book. I don't think it did, but I'm curious to know how this is going to end. But yeah, like I did read 60 pages. I have a lot more to go. That's another book that I want to finish. I'm just going to leave it at that. I have like 4 or 5 books that I want to finish this month, and I'm probably going to read more than that, but let's see. I will keep you guys posted on it by the end of the month. This time, hopefully, at a more paced timing. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Ansu. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Did I say upload? Probably. I feel like I didn't say it. It's fine. It's totally cool. But yeah, Let me know down below what are the books that you are interested to read in May. I would love to know. But I'll see you all next time with another one. Bye.